Hello, my name is Ryan Reiner. This is my second communication speech. Here is my audience right here. And so I'm doing my speech on three different subjects. Uh, One of them is going to be how to get sober, how to stay sober, and how to recognize if you have a substance abuse problem would be the first one. Sorry, I kind of got turned around there. So on the first one, how to tell if you have a substance abuse problem, I would start off by saying I am a recovering addict. I've been going through sobriety. I have 2 years of sobriety. I do not drink or put any substance into my body. So I do have some knowledge under this topic. So the first one would be if you can't drink sociably and you can't go out and just have one drink, your life turns into dependency and you start needing that to cope in your daily life, or it starts messing with your work life, it starts messing with your family. And it starts affecting the people around you. That could really show big signs of that you have a problem with substance abuse disorder. If you're not being able to keep up with your bills or things like that, then I would highly suggest seeking help for substance abuse use. So the second topic I wanted to talk about would be how to get sober. So for me, it took jails and institutions for me to get sober. Um, I had to learn things the hard way. Um, I had lost relationships in my life and things like that. Um, there are options out there. There's self-help groups, supporting groups. I'm going to get onto that here in a second, but there's also inpatient and outpatient programs. The inpatient program would be where you would have to go stay in an inpatient facility, seek help in there because it's if you can't manage to do it on your own, that would be the best route to go. And that would require going into a facility for 30 to 90 days, and no outside contact, and you just be fully focusing on what's causing your substance use and staying away from that substance and getting that safe place to do allow you to do that. The second one would be outpatient program. An outpatient program is where you aren't in a facility, but you do go to a facility. You're able to stay at home, but you go to a facility and you spend 2 to 3 days a week there, a couple hours a day, and you see a therapist. You do group settings. You do relapse prevention programs. You do um, all kinds of types of things to address your substance use and what triggers you, things like that, to want to get your life back in order if you're to that stage where you can't manage your life anymore. It's very helpful. I did both of those, and it did help me as an individual. There's self-help groups supporting. They call them self-supporting help groups, and those would be Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous. For me, those have been very valuable. Um, that doesn't require going into a facility anywhere. There are people that join these groups. They share their life experiences with some um, strength, experience, and hope, and to help other people stay sober too with what they're going through in their life. Um, I I benefited from that huge, as well as I've done a lot of inpatient, outpatient. But I manage mine today by continuing to show up to those 2 to 3 days a week. Um, so for Narcotics Anonymous, I have here on what is the NA program, and I'm going to read a little bit of that out to you so you guys have an understanding. What is the Narcotics Anonymous Fellowship or Society of Men and Women whom drugs have become a major problem? We are recovering addicts who meet regularly to help each other stay clean. This is a program of complete abstinence from all drugs. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop using. So the only thing that they require there is no fees, no promises. You don't have no sign up fees, none of that stuff. All they require is a desire to stop using. You people come in there that are under the influence, and they're struggling to get sober, and you know, they might figure it out down the road. Um, So down here it says, why are we here? Before coming to the fellowship of NA, we could not manage our own lives. We could not live and enjoy life as other people do. We had to have something different. We thought we had found it in drugs. We placed their use of the welfare of our families, our wives, husband, and children. We had to have drugs at all costs. We did many people great harm, but most of all, we harmed ourselves through our inability to accept personal responsibilities. We're actually creating our own problems. We seem to be incapable of facing life on its own terms. And I was one of those people. I could still easily be one of those people if I decided to pick up today. Um, Narcotics Anonymous has been a big part of how I stay sober today. Um, it's taught me how to get sober and how to stay sober. I highly recommend it if you are struggling with substance abuse disorder. There's a 12 steps to this program. Um, it taught me how to recognize that I had a problem. That would be step one, and that my life had become unmanageable, and I could no longer live life as normal people do without drugs or alcohol in my system. And once I recognized I had a problem, I think that's the first step to a problem is realizing what that is. So that if we're not aware of the problem and we're blind to it, then we're going to continue that behavior. Um, there's a fourth step to this, and it's taking personal inventory and learning what causes us to want to use, drink, whatever your substance may be. For me, it was wanting to cope with anxiety, social anxiety, things like that. Like I just didn't want to be around people unless I had a substance in my system. But yeah, this program has really taught me how to stay sober, how to continue to be a productive member in my society, and I'm very blessed for this program. And that would be the three topics I want to share in this speech. And thank you for listening and taking the time to listen. Thank you.